Welcome back to the Old Bull Young Calf Boston Sports Podcast. We're going live again today. My dad just wanted to not miss a day because, again, we have three more games coming up after this. We're going to be on everything. I'm almost positive we should be live. I mean, overall, every time that we've done this, we go and check, and without fail, yep, we're live on YouTube, and I believe we're going to be live on
I don't
Facebook.
see us on Facebook yet.
I see us on Facebook. So the
Oh,
Old
okay.
Bull's just
We're
just
up.
a bit slow today. So everybody,
Okay.
we've all had time to decompress. A lot has happened this weekend, and dare I say, this could be, and we won't know this for another year or two, one of the best weekends we've had in Boston sports in quite some time. Right? We had a lot of wins from the Celtics and Bruins, and this draft, hopefully under the new regime, could mean some great things. And we're going to give you some of our insight now that we've had time to sleep on it. You've probably seen a lot of rumblings and rants from my dad on his Facebook wall. But now we got some time to think about it, Dad. So we'll see if we actually are as emotional and disappointed about this as we seem to be in the initial start of it. Okay. So, any
Gotcha.
thoughts, Dad, before we jump into all these things?
Yeah, I'm just going to give everyone a heads up. There's going to be a lot of positives and a lot of negatives. Okay. The one thing I want to get off my chest is let's all stop with the we won't know about these players for 3 or 4 years crap. Just stop it. Okay. And also the what do these draft experts know? Like, how do they know? Like, because let me tell you something. All right. They're almost always right. So let's face it. Think about the draft picks that the expert have raved about from the Patriots in the last couple of years. They raved about Gonzalez. They raved about Barmore. Oh, and look, those two guys are looking like Pro Bowl caliber players. All right. Almost every player that the experts, which I'm sorry they study like tons of film, has said, God, the Patriots took this guy 1, 2, 3 rounds early or shouldn't have taken him at all. They're right. They're almost always right. So I don't want to hear that crap, that excuse anymore. All right. There's some things I like in this draft, but I am disappointed in a lot of ways because, again, we
All
didn't
right.
take one guy.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
got
sorry.
time. Okay, relax.
Yeah.
Okay, so the baseline is the old bull said we should trust the experts, and I don't think he's wrong, but we have to have some grace, right? This is not Belichick. I understand this is a guy who's worked under Belichick. I understand it's part of the tree, and that bothers the old bull, but we got to let this guy burn us first, okay? So we're going to talk about some of those picks, and one of those picks, and the most important pick, possibly of this, what is it, decade for the Patriots, is right off the bat. So I'm going to present my screen. Drake May highlights. We of course have gone over Drake May quite a bit. I'm going to add this to the podcast. Here we go. My dad has his first clip. So my dad has all three clips. So 142, Dad. What are we about to see here? Do you know
All
off the
right,
top of
let
your
it
head?
roll.
All right,
I'll
I'll
walk
just
you
play
through
it. I'll just play it.
it. So, a lot of the talk about Drake May is, because he's young, it's his footwork. But I just want to give you a glimpse of what he's capable of.
That
Play
was a
that
huge
back
bomb. Yeah.
one more time. If you look at his feet are terribly set when he throws this ball. He's a little off balance. And look how far he still launches it.
In stride.
Dead
And
on
that guy,
target.
yep, launched it in stride.
Dead on target, right? So this is why he could be so special. He cleans that up and just has natural footwork with a little more experience. Remember, he's only 21. He could be an absolute dynamo. So that's just an example of how strong his arm strength is there. And then the next clip.
So real quick, before we go into the next clip,
Yeah. Sorry.
Patrick Ryan, thanks for tuning in, Patrick. He actually shared a bunch here. He said I don't love the Patriots draft. I also don't hate it. And I think, Patrick, that's where you should probably be happily living. My dad is of course. It's somewhere in those extremes every so often. You just got to catch them at the right time. Yes, I hated the May pick. He actually hated the May pick. I think they would have been better off trading down and acquiring more picks. But with the picks they had and made, I think they were safe picks. I don't think any player is a superstar or game changer. Hopefully, May in 2 years. So even though you hate the May pick, you're still at least holding out hope. So I do appreciate that. But I think they drafted solid players who can contribute in some way. I'm surprised that they didn't draft a running back. They actually ended up drafting a running back, and we're going to talk about him, Patrick. I don't know if you've watched any clip on this guy. His name is Yaheem Bell, and I think the old bull spoiler and I are pretty high on this guy. So
he's actually a tight end.
He's a tight end. He's a tight end. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
he is a tight end. Yeah,
he's built like a running back. My bad. I was wondering why he's catching so dang much. He's thick. And then we got team only has Stevenson. Really could get a great third down receiving back. Also 2 QBs. Bye Zappy. I guess that's a win. Overall, he gives it a B-. So this draft needed to be an A+. And I think you're right, but maybe will be proven wrong. So let's jump back into the clips.
I just want to say,
oh yeah, go ahead,
Patrick
please.
Ryan. I really agree with almost everything he said. I don't agree with the May part, but I feel the same way. They just came out with possibly a lot of solid players. Nobody that absolutely jumps off the page, though. No superstars, no game changers. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just the numbers there for these players, they don't translate into electrifying. So, or, explosive players. So I'm completely on with Patrick pretty much with just about everything he said, except the May part. I am higher on May than he is. So anyway,
that's true.
Let's go back to that clip, Matt. What did you think of that throw?
Oh, that was so number one, the clip you said, again, those are all fixable things. You can't teach a lot of what Drake May has: elusiveness, size, strength, just all that stuff. But when you 100% can teach footwork, and he certainly wasn't going to a quarterback factory by any means, right? He went to UNC. So he's in the NFL now. Hopefully we can fix that. So you ready for the next clip, Ted?
Absolutely. Jump to it.
All right, here we go. Shotgun.
This one. Oh. Now this one's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's falling backwards unnecessarily.
He kind of has to, right? There is some rush, I believe. There's a little bit of rush, but oh my God. He's on his back foot. He throws it with high trajectory, which is needed due to the route. He has to drop it over the defender. And it's just a perfect throw off an off balance, like he's like Jason Tatum on his 1 foot followaways. I mean, I don't know, Matt. Go back to the beginning. Is he under serious pressure here, or is this kind of like?
No, he's really not.
He's not. Okay, so that's what he's got to clean up. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be.
I mean, there's no.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Matt. Yeah,
there's pretty much
he has
2 yards
to step in. Yeah,
2 yards between everybody, and his shoulders are back. He's not leaning into it. And I mean, again, it's not super egregious. I think one of the things I heard on the Pat McCaffrey show when they were talking about him is that he can sometimes fabricate pressure. So he needs to not do that. They got to figure out a way.
That's what he's doing. That's good, Matt, because that's what he's doing here. I like that analysis. He's just throwing off his back foot for no reason, but it's still an amazing throw. Again, clean up his footwork. A lot of this stuff is going to fix itself. Now, The next clip is it gives you a taste of what his arm is when he can step into the throw. So go ahead and show the next one.
Oh, wow, that was a dart.
It's a little choppy, but I mean, talk about a frozen rope. It's like he's firing a baseball.
Like, it's probably why it was a little choppy is because it was so quick, right? It was that they talk about Josh Allen. That was definitely a Josh Allen-esque throw. There was a lot of heat behind that. Pretty good line drive. I think this is a replay of it. Oh no, it's not. That's just a fade route. So yeah, no, overall, not bad, Dad. We'll see, right? I think this is, again, we're gonna have to rely on the coaches. This is not a known commodity for us by any means. So we'll see. And we've talked about Drake May a ton. Any final closing thoughts on Drake May, Dad, before we move on?
Yeah, you got to give you a grade. My grade for this is very simple. It's A+. They didn't overthink it. Trade back, risk getting like Bo Nix that went freaking 12. Because that's what we're facing. Like, if we traded back to the 11th pick, I mean, can you imagine that disaster if we got stuck with him? So anyway, I give it an A+. What do you give it?
A+. It is a. All right. This was spot on, no doubt. So now we're going to move on into probably one of the more controversial picks that was for us here, and this was
Yeah.
Polk for the Washington. For Washington Junior 6'2", 204. Not the fastest guy, and really not the most flashy wide receiver. So here's where I think Patrick Ryan nailed it, right? A lot of these picks were very safe. Jalen Polk was the safe pick here. Adonai Mitchell, which my dad, I'm sure, will touch on, was the kind of sexy, possibly, long term pick. But, it's really, after watching some of the clips, I think he might have been what we needed. And I don't think he would have made it much further in the draft. So I kind of came around, and this is where the whole sleeping on it and thinking about it situation is. My dad might disagree with me here, so I'll play with my first clip, Dad, and then before yours, maybe you can give a quick thought on him. So here it is, first play, 16. Here we go. So this play right here, one of the things I loved about it was, it's a heady play, finding the soft spot in the zone. The reason why his guy fell down is because he ran such a great route. Really gets to the top of the route, digs his foot, breaks this guy's ankles. The guy falls down, and then he stays in bounds, tough, on the sideline. Exactly kind of what I love seeing Patriot wide receivers do. Stay in bounds, try and get the extra yard, and he does that a lot throughout this highlight clip. So I really like that play. Dad, what are your thoughts on it before we jump into your clip here at 218?
So I'm just going to give everyone a heads up. I don't like this pick. I don't like it at all. And no one's going to want to hear this, but I see a ton of N'Keal Harry in this guy. A ton of N'Keal Harry. It's gave me flashbacks to when I watched N'Keal Harry highlights. And it's like, oh my God, why did they take this guy? He doesn't get any separation whatsoever. Yeah, he makes a lot of amazing catches because he's bullying this college undersized cornerback where he has no choice but to 50-50 ball him, overpower him because he's got no separation there. And they look like great highlight reel catches, but it's like that's not translated in the NFL. You need separation. And I could not find a lot of clips where his natural movements or route running created separation.
Okay. So I mean, I had that first one that was just separation just on his footwork and his route. But yeah, all right, here we go, Dad. 218. Oh, super contested, bad throw by Penix, that's for sure.
I'm not seeing any of the videos.
Oh, you know what? My bad. Oh, well, you got to tell me that before. Like, what are you doing? You slacking over here.
Oh, sorry.
I can fix that. I just gotta. So this is share, and I'm gonna put it in. Okay. All right. So real quick. Let me show mine. You're not even fair.
Yeah, show yours.
All right. So here we go. First play. Gets wide open just off of his footwork here, stays in bounds, toes the line, right? And it's going to show another angle. And I think this just pretty much tells you that, Dad, that you probably didn't watch the first clip because right there, that was his footwork and his route that really got that separation.
That was a good one. That's definitely one of his better ones.
All right, yes. 218. And that's really what I was looking for is how does he help the quarterback? How does he find the soft spot in the zone? How does he make smart plays? So here we are, 218. This is the old Bulls clip. Contested throw. This is like a 40-60 ball, to be honest.
Here's my problem with this play, right? The cornerback's lined up on him. He's dead on him. So this is like a foot race. It's a foot race, and then 30 yards down the field, this corner, who's probably going to be a car salesman, like you said, stays with him the whole way, and he has to out-muscle him. That's not what I want to see out of an NFL prospect. To me, if you only have one step on the guy in college, you're not open in the NFL. You need 2+ steps. If you're 2+ steps ahead of the guy, that means in the NFL you're going to be open. But if you're only 1 step ahead of the guy in college, that's called not open in the NFL. So again, I found so many of these contested catches. Yeah, he's a battler. He's a dog. All those cliches people want to throw out there. Fantastic. But he just doesn't get much separation. That one you found, Matt, was like a rare gem. I had trouble
All right.
finding them. Trust me,
I
I want to find
I
them.
mean,
Go
here's
ahead.
one right here. Here's one right here. So four
Yes.
minutes. I think this one, what stood out to me a lot was what he did for the quarterback. So this is kind of what we might see a lot of from Drake May. At least, as the draft experts that my dad believes in are right in that he breaks the pocket a lot. So has to modify his route, gets wide open. They're all talking about a great throw from Penix, but Polk really gave him a great target. So here he is in the back of the end zone, changed up his route, and got to the soft spot in the coverage and made a great catch. So I was going to show you again. Um, so Polk is on the left, top left, doesn't give up on the play, breaks the guy's ankles at the top of his route, and makes a really great catch. Because that guy who's close to him is not the guy who was covering. The guy who was covering was about 5 yards behind him, and that was pretty good for me.
And it's, usually when you find him pretty open, it's because he was smart and knew where to go in the zone. So it's
Yeah.
not like that doesn't count for much, but it's still not him beating man coverage, which he's going to see a lot of in the NFL. So it does count for something that he's smart enough to get open in the proper areas of his zone, defensive zone. But you need to be able to beat your guy too when the defense mans up on you. And I just struggle to
Yeah.
find that.
So here's the big thing. This is why Drake May really has to become like Josh Allen, because he needs to become a threat enough to where people can't play man against us. They have to play zone because Drake May is going to break out for big runs, right? And that's kind of what Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
You almost can't play man against that guy, right? And just like Lamar Jackson.
No.
So
Yeah.
Finding guys who are smart, heady, can get into the right spots in the zone. It's not bad. Again, I'm not trying to say the guy's going to be amazing, but it's like, okay, I'm not devastated. So here's another one from my dad. So this is 5-12. I don't know if this is a good one, Dad, or is this another? He's not getting separation.
Roll it.
All right, let's see. So
okay, so again, he's got some separation, but it's one step. And again, he's got one step on the guy. That's my problem. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. In college, you need to have two steps on that guy there. That's NFL open because he's not seeing this dude at cornerback in the NFL. I'm telling you that right now. And he had a clean break off the line of scrimmage on this play. So he didn't even get jammed. And okay, he did great. He tracked the ball, he caught it, all that good stuff. But I'm talking about translating to the NFL. So that's what my concern is right there.
yep. So that's Polk. So next up, Dad, let's just talk. So I will say about Polk. My dad's so negative about this because there was an opportunity to get a guy like Adonai Mitchell, and we didn't. And we, of course, I don't know if you've watched clips on Adonai. I have not. I don't know what kind of separation Adonai is getting. I'd have to go back and probably watch some of his games up against Alabama, but I don't want to also be hurt. But I can tell you this: a lot of other teams passed on him. A lot. I guess he has got a lot of quit on him, and he's also, according to everything saying, he's a locker room cancer. And I think a lot of that you can say is fabricated, but the fact that he dropped so far below anyone thought he was going to be, there's got to be a lot of truth to that. So maybe he's a tool, maybe he's a diva, but if he's a good diva, then I think it's worth it. And that's why you take this pick, because this is the draft to do it, right? This is the start of what we hope is to be the next Patriots dynasty. So it would have been nice to see him do it, but they didn't. So
Matt,
yeah, go ahead.
isn't that the case? Isn't that the case with wide receivers? A lot of them in the NFL, they're a pain in the
divas are the
ass.
best.
They're
Yeah.
divas. Exactly. And trust me, I did watch film on him. And trust me, he's got 2 to 3 steps of separation constantly. That dude flies. He's just a game changer. He screams number one receiver. I'm telling you now. And that's why, listen, you're bringing him into a locker room with grown men, coaches. Like, who cares if he was a bit of a dink? Let him come into the Patriots locker room and try to pull that crap. He'll get straightened out quickly. So I don't want to hear that, well, he was kind of this and that and that. Yeah, when he was the big dog in college and on his team. He's not going to be that when he goes to an NFL team. Take the damn talented kid and straighten him out when he gets there. That kid was awesome talent-wise, and it sucks that he's not here because he went right by us and we had him. Remember I said that.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It's just I'm trying to figure out the logic here, and I think again, I think I sent you a text. One of our wide receiver coaches, or our wide receiver coach, was the wide receiver coach for Washington last year. And
Oh,
so there's a bit of nepotism there, I think, in taking Polk. So yeah. Let's move on to Caden Wallace, Dad. So tackle, I really don't have too much information on him. I think my dad's just gonna, be a bit frustrated for a little bit. Is that the play, Dad, here? Because I think it would
real
would
quick,
probably be warranted. Go ahead.
what grade you give the Polk?
Oh, Polk. Uh, I think B minus, C plus,
I give it a D minus.
D
Okay,
minus.
and because I tell you now, I don't see him any higher than a number 3 wide receiver. And I hope he's not N'Keal Harry, where he's at least salvageable and he's at least a number 3 receiver. I don't see him being any higher than a number 3 receiver in today's NFL. So
Yeah.
because they had a shot at a true number 1 with talent and they passed on him and they took the safe bet, like Ryan said, and
Yeah.
like you've
Nope.
been
I'll
saying,
agree.
D minus. We didn't need safe. We need game changes and we need to be electric. So that's my grade
Yeah.
for that one. Now
No.
this
And,
tackle
and,
coming
and
up.
go ahead. Go ahead. Yep. What do you got?
No, go ahead.
No. That's fine. Caden Wallace. What do you got?
Caden Wallace, it's not good. Not good. This is another guy where he's going to be on the team for 3 to 4 years just because they spent the high draft pick on him, and everyone's going to go, "What the hell did they draft this guy for?" He's not athletic. He's not powerful in any way, shape, or form. He's played nothing but right tackle, and nobody believes with his footwork that he can transition to left tackle. That he's just not an athletic enough guy to do it. So he's got no experience there. We got a Weno for the next 4 or 5 years at right tackle. He needs to transition to left, and everything that I'm reading about him in the footage I've seen on him, I don't get what they saw in him. He's just an average Joe. He's a decent pass protector at times. He can't run block to save his life, and he has trouble pulling because he's slow. And this is where there's too much Belichick in the damn building. He was projected to go 5th round higher. We take him into third. Like, we don't have any guys where all the experts said, Patriots got a steal here. I thought this guy was going around earlier, and we don't have any of those. Half these draft picks have the experts going, I had this guy going a round later than this, 2 rounds later than this. And like I said at the beginning, the experts are usually right. Go back to the last 4 drafts when they've said this about Patriots picks. They've been right. And the ones they praised, Barmore, Gonzalez, they said, great picks by the Patriots. Boom, they were home runs. They grand slams. So stop
Gonzalez
poo-pooing
slipped.
the experts.
Yep. Gonzalez slipped. Gonzalez was what you said.
Yeah.
The bait, and that was probably our best draft pick. Outside of course Barmore. Barmore still got to step it up this year. I know he started to be good last year, but yeah. So Caden Wallace, guys, I think that's it for Caden Wallace, Dad. I was not super excited about that. There were certainly other tackles available, and again, it's like hopefully they're just not trying to be smarter than everybody else, because if they are, then that's really scary. So let's move on. Layden Robinson.
Well,
So we double.
your
Go ahead.
grades. You keep
Oh,
forgetting
my
your
grade.
grades.
I'm sorry. I didn't write down my grade. So my Caden Wallace, I'm going to give that a C minus. It's a C
I give him
minus.
an F.
F.
For
Okay.
waste of a 3rd round pick. So
Yeah.
F. So far, I got an A plus, a D minus, and an F. And we got Javon Young on.
Dad.
Let's see, on YouTube.
Oh, we got Javon in here. Yeah. Hey, Jay.
I think they are taking. I mean, they're not taking. They're trying to build something. It's just, man. I expect them to come out swinging. And man, like my son said, like Ryan said in the comments, save picks. Like, it's not the time for that. We got to start, swinging for the fences. But anyway,
And Jay,
Matt.
Jay's actually my coworker. So Jay, I really appreciate you. He lives in Texas. Shout out to Jay. Jay told me that pretty much everybody in his high school ran a 4.440, and Jay actually at one point ran a 4.440 because he's from Texas, and he said it with a straight face, and that was absolutely insane. Jay, honestly, I think the best way they're going to be successful going forward is to tank. I have no interest in the Patriots finishing with 7 and 8 wins next year. If they can find a way to get in the top 5 again, I will be more than happy. I know that's not going to make a lot of our viewers happy because, I'm not going to be rooting for tanking on the podcast. Maybe I will, but I can tell you this. I will not be sad if we get another 3rd overall pick. I will be disappointed if we're perpetual Raiders drafting at 12 for the next, 3 or 4 years. So I think we got to get some more blue chip players. We got to get more excitement in here. My dad's right. We didn't really find that in this draft. So yeah, if they
Yeah,
tanking, if,
that could be our
yeah,
Marvin Harrison Jr. pick next year, like you said.
yeah,
I
we
mean,
could be
number
like the
3 pick.
Cardinals. Yeah, you
Yep.
getting a generational talent. Jamar Chase. If that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. That's fine.
To go
So
in
yeah,
May.
yeah. Hey, love you, Jay. Really appreciate you taking the time, brother. I'll see you tomorrow in our morning meeting. Um, so yeah, Layden
All right,
Robinson.
next pick. Little positivity here. All right.
Yeah,
We
go ahead,
we
Dad.
don't have any footage on him, but listen, we're going to be putting links in the comments that give you good video clips of these guys. And I liked the video clip I found of this guy because it shows him at the Senior Bowl, right? Against other 4-year players who are really good. A lot of them going to the NFL, a lot of them experienced. So I liked his film against these other senior pass rushers. He's a mauler as far as a run blocker. And I read some reports that he's not a great pass blocker, but Matt came up with a golden nugget that I didn't come across, which
Yeah.
was, Matt, what did you find?
Yeah, so Pro Football New England came out and they had him graded at 401 total pass blocking downs this past year, and only one of those resulted in a sack. They don't talk about pressures, right? They don't talk about knockdowns, but only one of those resulted in a sack. And again, he's playing for Texas A&M. That's a legit school, and they play in a legit conference against legit opponents. So that was pretty reassuring to me. It's tough for us to get a really good grasp on what these guards are. So that nugget of information gave me a bit of maybe Cole Strange can be out of here and we can get a decent guard in his place. Yeah, that's all I got on Layden. My grade, Dad, if you're curious here, I'll say B plus, B plus, B plus after seeing that pass blocking.
And this guy's a people mover. I've seen his run blocking in a lot of clips, and he moves people. I'm giving this a B plus, and the only reason why it's not an A is because they've drafted so many damn guards in the last few years. It was not a position of need at all. They need one of those other damn guards that they drafted to stick out and become a starter. And I'm assuming they've drafted so many of them that one of them eventually will. I mean, you have to stick with Cole Strange. He's a first-round pick. I mean, he's not going anywhere for at least 2 more years. So, I mean, if it wasn't for that, if we actually needed a guard, this would be an A plus pick for me. Well, not an A plus, but it'd be an A. But because it's not a position of need at all, we have so many guards we've drafted in the last 2 years. I'm going to drop this down to a B plus. But he's got a lot of promise.
Nice, I like it. Line is never bad. It's not the sexy move, but it's definitely a totally fine pick for me. Pretty much any point throughout this draft, I would have been happy with an alignment. So.
Yeah. Let's get to some interesting picks. Here comes the interesting ones.
Yeah. So this guy, by all accounts, everyone was saying he's a dog. So I already got it pulled up. 1 second.
It sounds like you're muted, Matt.
Yeah, I am muting because I'm telling Jackson to stop yelling to his friends on Fortnite. So he's dead, and he's in here yelling at Uncle Jamie. Poor Uncle Jamie, 50-something years old, playing Fortnite with his 6-year-old nephew. And his 6-year-old nephew's yelling at him to pick up his card. So yes, here's a really exciting pick. So we got Javon Baker. Dad, I think I am first. So I got one at 32 seconds here. So 32 seconds. I think this is kind of redundant with Polk. So here we go. Nice little. So pretty simple play here, right? Nothing crazy, but quarterback makes a horrible throw, right? Super simple route. Quarterback throws it away from him. Great hands. Everything I've seen about this guy, he's making catches that have no business being caught. And the reason why I think there's no business being caught is because I'm a fan of the Patriots, and there's zero chance any of our NFL receivers would have caught them. The fact that he was able to snag that pass, after watching Brick Hands Devontae Parker for so long, I was super reassuring to me. And I think this is something we're going to need with a rookie quarterback. Drake May was pretty money on those quick little out routes to the side and everything. So maybe it's not going to be as much of an issue. But when he does miss, if he misses within this guy's arm radius, it really seems like he's going to make the catch. So that's my thoughts, Dad. What do you got?
So I'm more high on this guy than I am Polk, and they took him in the 4th round. And again, my hopes of this guy is he's a number 2 receiver. I don't see number 1 receiver talent because, again, he gets better separation than Polk, but it's still not great. He runs neither him or Polk run under a 4.5. That's not good for an NFL receiver. You want to be at least in the 4.4 range. The elite ones now are in 4.3. So, but this guy, he's definitely more promising. His run after the catch ability is awesome. He had some absolutely brutal, painful drops in the first half of the year last year, but he cleaned it up and he didn't have one drop the last 5 games. So that shows you he recognizes when he's screwing up. And I don't know if he hit the jugs machine or what, did some extra catches, but he went from, I guess he had 3 drops that led to interceptions in the first half of the year, and then he didn't have any of the last five games. So shows he's accountable, awareness, and he battles through that stuff. So
I will say that though.
Well.
We'll say this: if his quarterback's throwing balls like he did in that first clip I just showed, there's probably a lot of reason why he's dropping into interceptions, because that should have been intercepted. If that quarterback was up. Also, Polk hasn't dropped a pass all season, so just a heads up. That's one of the reasons other people are behind him. So let's move on. So my dad's first clip. This is you, Dad.
Yes, go for it. I can't see it. Is it supposed to be going? Oh,
yeah,
I got it.
It should be going. Okay.
There you go. I got you. So go ahead. This is what I'm talking about. Like, coughs it up right into the guy's hands. He's got to
hit him in the chest.
The stuff and he just bobbled it right into the other guy's hands. So that's the stuff. Okay, that looks terrible. But again, on a positive note, he went the last 5 games of the year with 0 drops. So that shows you he's teachable. And, he recognizes when he has a weakness and he works on it. So I like that about him.
Nice. All right. So we'll move on. This is a back-to-back clip for my dad. So Dad, just keep talking about it. What do we got? We got right here.
Let's see it. This one, like it, right? Makes a good move. He's got 2 full steps on the guy. Right there. See that 2 full steps? That tells you he can get open against an NFL defensive back. That's what we want to see. You see the point of separation there?
Yep.
I mean, the guy does close to 1 step, but it's too late. He's got the 2-step. He's 2 steps ahead of him. He's open. That's the type of stuff I want to see consistently, beating college cornerbacks like that. So that's a good sign there.
Yep, and that's Oklahoma too. So that's no joke. That's a good team. That cornerback could be someone's undrafted free agent or maybe even be drafted. I don't even know. All right, so we'll move on to my next clip. Again, kind of what I was looking for was, I think what they did was they double dipped on these 2 wide receivers because they're looking for the next Jacoby Myers. They're looking for a player like that who's smart and can make a catch and be kind of the blanket guy for May. And this is kind of one of those plays. So here we go. Again, quick short route. Slows down perfectly right in the middle of the the over the top coverage, the zone, and there's nobody's going to get that ball. He jumps, high points it. He's got his back guarded, sure, everything like that. So I really appreciated this. Simple things, and again, the reason why I like the simple things is because our wide receivers weren't doing this very well last year. So hopefully, he can bring this and break down some zone for us here as we as we move on to next season.
I like the comparison, Mac, because that looked like Jacoby Myers-ish. Hey, you didn't play the second clip. Didn't I have back-to-back clips there?
Oh, my bad. Did you make a note back-to-back? My bad.
I don't know. Okay. I might have.
9:28. Okay, what'd you text me? 9:28. I'll get to the point. 9:28.
Well, I thought I heard you say that did back-to-back clips for my dad here, but maybe
you did. You did 2 clips. You did 2 clips.
Okay.
You did the interception and then you did the
Okay. All right. Maybe there wasn't another one then.
Yeah, interception. Then you did 9:28. I got the text. 9:28. I'll play it again for you just so you. This is the space right there. Is that one? So
okay, there was nothing after that. Okay.
No, nothing after that. So
all right.
So I'm gonna.
But this guy, I project him. He can be a number 2 receiver. I don't quite see number 1 receiver talent, but he can be a number 2, which is good. Again, middle end receivers. I don't want 4 number 4 receivers, number 3 receivers. We've had plenty of those in the last few years. Number 5 receivers. We need number 1 and number 2 receivers. So I am more optimistic about Baker than I am Polk because I feel like he has more, ability to create separation, which is that's what it's all about in the NFL. That's why guys like Jefferson and Tyreek Hill are so dangerous. Cornerbacks cannot stay with them. So, that's what I'm hoping to get out of this.
All right. So
a little more.
So let's. So I don't know if I missed any players.
Your draft. Your grade.
What my grade?
Do you give the Polk
I think I give him B plus. I feel like this was the one time where there was a high value target that slipped in the draft that people were talking about, and the Patriots took a chance on him. So I like this. This is what they should have done with Adonai earlier, because Baker was 100%. I think he dropped in the draft. I think he slipped a bit here.
Yeah, man. If they took Mitchell with this guy, now you're talking. Now you're cooking with fire. I'm going to give it also a B plus. So, if he had 4.3 speed, this would be higher, and he was getting more separation on those deep routes, but he's still limited, 4.5, 5.40 or something like that. But he can run after the catch though. Check out these videos that we're going to put in the comments later. This guy can boogie after he catches it.
All right, so we'll move on to Yaheem Bell. And so this guy, I thought he was a freaking tight end, but I could have sworn he's like a fullback tight end hybrid, possibly.
He's a tight end, yeah.
Just a straight up tight end? Dang, okay. All right, so, again, he's a late round pick, so it's not like he's going to be a world beater for us by any means, but here he is. My dad has the first 2 clips, 50 seconds, 1 minute 10, Dad, so I'll let you, do you want to give any info before we watch the clip?
This guy, watching him, screams Jonnu Smith to me. And I'm talking Jonnu Smith with the Titans when he was good, before he came to the Patriots and Belichick didn't know how to use him. Just super agile, super athletic. The knock on him is he has trouble run blocking. Guys like this generally are going to be. I don't want to make possible comparisons to Aaron Hernandez. He's not quite that athletic, and for other reasons I don't want to. But the guy he reminds me of is Jonnu Smith when Jonnu Smith was good with the Titans. So
yep. All right. Here we go. 50 seconds. Leading us off. Perfect.
Does this look like a tight end to you? Look at that. Catches it, spins, pivots, starts dragging guys. Play that one more time, Matt. Like, look at the quickness of when he catches the ball and dupes the first guy.
Sorry, it's going to be a second. And here it comes again right now.
This doesn't look like a tight end to me. Bam, boom, bomb, still on his feet, dragging guys, goes for the touchdown.
Heck yeah. No,
that's pretty
awesome.
good.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
All right. So we'll just move right into the next clip, okay?
Yep.
Here we go, 110. Where is he? Right here, coming across the middle.
Right. So I like this play because he catches it in some traffic. And again, watch it.
Oh.
Boom. Makes a quick move. I'm gone. See you later.
Yes. So here's a big thing. And I think,
doesn't look like a tight end.
So here's Travis, right? So the big thing about Florida State is that they lost this Travis kid to a leg injury early in the year. So I don't think Bell got many games with him. And that might have really hurt his draft stock. He was playing with pretty much like bottom of the barrel backup guys. Their quarterbacks were so bad that they didn't even get a playoff berth because they, even though they were undefeated, because the quarterback sucked so bad. So, the Keon Coleman guy, he got drafted by the Bulls, by the Buffalo Bills. And a lot of these skill players, I think on this Florida State team didn't get a fair shake because their quarterback was out. And of course, all the guys who plays quarterback for Florida State are probably selling cars at this point, because they're all trash. So we're gonna move on
this
to
one right here. He's about to. Can you hit the play button? This one right here. It shows you his straight ahead speed's pretty good too. He goes right by the linebacker here,
and he makes the circus catch. So here we go. Very few people are making that catch. And I'm not even too sure if the Sun. If he's looking back, I don't know if he's looking back at the Sun, but overall, circus catch. He knows he's going to get squished, when he does it. Makes a great catch. So overall, I think is a lot to be excited about with Yaheem Bell. Um, I'm
What's your
definitely,
grade, Matt?
I would say B minus B. I mean, what are you gonna do about getting a guy this late in seventh round? All right, I'll give him an A minus. A minus. There you
It's a
go.
seventh round. I give it an
Yeah,
A plus. Getting
A
this
plus.
guy seven. I mean, this is what you use that seventh round pick for. Guys who just for some reason they slipped. They got upside. They got weaknesses, but they have physical ability that that you can't coach. They just have it. So I love that pick. A plus. A plus for that guy.
Heck yeah. So last guy we'll go into, and this is I think the draft pick outside of Drake May and Polk that got the most buzz across the league. And I think if you work it out, if you the kind of the Bill Belichick trade math, we traded Mac Jones for this guy. I'm pretty sure the pick we got for Mac Jones became Joe Milton. Um, so
It is. Yeah.
uh, so yeah, I think I'm not as organized on this guy. I told my dad I'm at 157, so I'm going to start sharing in a moment. I just gotta share my new screen. Where is it? Okay. Got Joe Milton.
Got it.
So my clip is first at 157. So 157. And I think this is similar to kind of your Drake May situation, Dad. You talked about poor footwork and everything like that. Falling back. So where's the ball? And where is he right now? The 40-yard line. Here he is.
45.
Yeah. So he's here. So he's
Oh
he's
yeah.
40-yard line.
Yeah.
Falling back.
Yeah, look at his foot. His footwork's terrible. From the
Ball goes
40,
all the way to 25.
I don't know. Did he get it yet? Where is it? Keep going.
You got right there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
40 to 25. So it's 10, 25, what, 35 or so yards like that. Hits the guy in stride as well. Wall pretty much getting hit. So I really appreciated, the arm. This is what this guy's known for. And, a lot of the stuff that I was watching, throwing the ball, in the red zone and everything like that. Like I wouldn't even want to put my hand up if I was an offensive lineman. I mean, I'm sorry, defensive lineman, gonna break a finger.
They call him
So
Bazooka Joe because that thing is an absolute cannon he has.
so 335.
My comparison for this guy is Colin Kaepernick. Just
A
a
lot of people
laser
are saying
arm.
Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
Have they said that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Uh,
I've seen comments about it on Reddit, but I think you think you nailed it, Colin Kaepernick. All right,
Swear to
so
God, I've not heard anyone say that, but oh well. It makes
so here
sense
we
because
go.
that's what I see too. Yep.
335 and two plays after. So we're gonna go 335.
Yep. This is the kind of the play I'm talking about. He just looks like Colin Kaepernick here. He gets some open space, and he's just a level faster than everybody else. Not Jaden Daniels faster, but it's
No.
like, you gave him some space, and now he's gone. See you later. Very Colin Kaepernick-ish.
I don't know what team they were facing. There was like
This right here, Matt. Look at his throw. Okay, now don't even think about it. Close your eyes. Okay.
Yep.
You saw how fast that throw was,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
How long do you think that throw was in the air for? How many yards? Based on how quick?
20.
All right, 25 yards.
25. Nice.
Go back and look at that one more time. It looked like a 10-yard throw when I saw it because it's just there so fast. He's actually thrown it 25 yards.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like a pitcher throwing a fastball. It's just like, wow, that's 25 yards because it was there in a second.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I thought it was 20 because I was just like in my head I was counting like the hash marks because again that's what you got to do with these guys. You like every throw. The one thing you want to look at is how many of those 5-yard chunks is going. So I kind of cheated there a little bit. So 540. Ready? Let's go to the next one for the old bull.
I mean, this again.
You just run a running quarterback.
Oh wait, no. That's not the one I was supposed to. Was there
You said
another
you said
play
you
after
yeah, you said
that?
540 in the play after. So here we
Huh.
go. So that's 540. Here's the play
Oh,
after.
okay.
Yep. You said 2
Oh, this
plays.
is he got a little edge there. That's what I like. That he ran the guy over, then he kind of got up and got in his face a little bit. I mean,
Oh
look at
man.
that throw.
45, yeah. It didn't even look like
It's
he was
just
trying. 45 yards.
45 yards. It's just zipping through the air. The guy made a great diving catch there too. Holy cow! Like holding on to that rocket. Look how effortless this is to him. I mean, all his throws. He's only a
Remember,
1 year starter. I'm surprised this guy didn't get more buzz and more. I get it. He has his shortfalls. You know, he passed for 64%. So, you know, he can be wild, but man, I really like this pick. I'm hoping this guy, he's the type of guy that flashes in preseason games big time, right? So he flashes in preseason, maybe gets into a game or two because of possibly injuries and does well. And that's the kind of guy maybe you can get a high draft pick for. You have May, right? So you're good there. But this guy, after 3 years, there's some NFL footage on him because of some injuries and stuff. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo was going to get us a couple first round picks from Cleveland. So, you know, I got some hopes for this guy. You know, 2-3 years from now, he might be able to get us a decent draft pick, whether it's a first round
yeah.
pick, I don't know. But I like this pick. I really do. So,
You know what we
also
got to
means
do?
Zappy's probably gone.
You know what we got to do is we got to root for Bo Nix to show that he's Bo Nix in Denver.
Yeah.
And then in a year, Denver's like, we need a new quarterback, and bring this guy up there, and he'll throw the ball 120 yards in that thin air. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
absolutely.
mean, could definitely be trade fodder, and I think again, like you said, the preseason's going to be big for him. They keep shortening the preseason so much, but
Yeah, it's only three
preseason's also
games
going to be.
now.
Yeah, and Goodell's talking about bringing it down to 2 and increasing the regular season by a game. I don't know if you heard him say that. Said that on I think the Pat McCaffrey show.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's been suspicious. They've been wanting to do that forever. Are we not doing
yeah.
Dial, the 6th round pick cornerback?
Oh, I forgot that guy. I mean, we're already 47 minutes, and that guy I was not super
Okay.
high on.
I
So
was
Joe Milton.
actually. So I had
Yeah.
some good things to say about him. So for the record,
Right.
we're putting that on the record. Young Cav, not high on him.
Yeah.
I'm a little high on him. Not like crazy high, but a little high on him.
I told my dad told me to watch the highlights. Watch the highlights. It was 3.5 minutes, and at no point did he make a play. His helmet made all the plays. He was not even looking at the ball. He has no. He probably doesn't even know
That's not
that he's a.
true.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him. He knows when to turn his head around. And for years, let me tell you, the Patriots in from 2008 to 2013, they could not find a defensive back that knew when to turn around to save their lives. It used to drive me insane. I at least like the fact that he knows when to turn around. When he turns around, is his face mask usually in the way of the ball? Yeah, but that's still good. As long as you're turning around, you break that pass up, that's all I care about. I feel like he
Yeah.
has a little bit of promise.
He was like glue. He was like Velcro at Jackson
Yes,
at basketball. So I will
absolutely.
concede that he was on those guys. But yeah, and Joe Milton, I think I'll give that an A plus. Like it's odd. They almost started to adopt what they needed to do earlier in the draft and just taking shots on what ifs and projects because we're playing with house money next year. We could lose every single game, and I don't think anybody would care because you know we suck, right? So it's like there's no reason to not take chances. Joe Milton, I think, was a chance. Javon Baker was a chance. It would have been nice if they kind of adopted that similar mentality in the second and third round, but I mean, here we are. So overall, the draft, I'd give it a C minus. My dad talked about his initial report card with those first 3 picks, A, D minus, and then you said F, right, Dad?
Well, it's whatever your grades are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Milton, I give an A minus to. The Dial kid, considering he's a 6th round pick, I give that a B minus. I thought that was pretty good. So overall, Drake May A plus, Polk D minus, the Wallace F, flat out F, the guard B plus, and then we went Polk. No, sorry, not
Baker.
Polk. Baker. I gave a B plus to. You know, and then the Bell kid, A+. You know, Milton, A-. I'm gonna give it a C+. The entire
Yeah.
draft in its entirety. If
Yeah.
they took Mitchell, I mean, now you're talking like
Oh yeah.
close to an A. But
There's
that's
not
a
much to
big
talk about
whiff
in this
there.
draft. There's not much to talk about. We got Drake May to talk about, and that's pretty much it. Dad and I Mitchell would have given
Yeah,
us a bit more to talk about. Yeah, what I was gonna say was,
yeah.
Dad, was those first 3 grades, A+, D-, F. That's like
That's
Steve
it.
Miner North High report card, I think. You know, gym, A+, math, English.
I want to push back on that, but
Yeah.
it's not just funny, it's true. So,
Uh, yeah, but in any case,
well
this was a
done.
long
Well
one. This
done,
was a long
son.
one. We're gonna try and put a lot, I think, in the in the comments and everything like that. Give you a bit of a guide to what to look for, where to go if you're curious about any particular player. So we'll try and timestamp some stuff similar to what we were doing on actual YouTube videos. So we appreciate everybody who took the time to tune in and watch even a second of this. So thanks a lot. Any other final thoughts, Ted?
Thank you. Yeah, no time stamping anything. Just throw the videos that we picked out in the comments, and people want to watch them, they're gonna watch them. But the Baker one you'll like because it has every target thrown to him. So even the drops or the incomplete pass, it shows all of it. So I did like that. I wish they had that for every player. So that really gives you a sense of how good Baker could be, and how he's got a little bit ways to go on other things as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So sounds good. I hope everybody has a good rest of the night. We'll be back tomorrow for the Celtics pregame and postgame. Hopefully we can come up big, extend the series 3-1. So yeah, thanks.